Hello guys, this is Cyber, and today I want to talk about grind, and more specifically I want to talk about good grind and bad grind, because I really do think that there are some good instances of good grind, and there are definitely a lot of instances of bad grind, but grinding can be good for games if done right. And the reason I wanted to go into this is because I've heard some criticism of games with grind, and I don't think the criticism is altogether accurate or correct. I mean, some games have good grind and it is good for gaming in general. So here are a few questions that I ask myself when I'm determining whether this grind is good or bad. And so the first question is the grind repetitive? I mean, is it so mind-numbingly dull that you sit pressing one button for hours upon hours and the enemies don't change, the scenery doesn't change? I mean, the same abstract melody is blaring in your ears, constantly playing, as opposed to playing a group of missions, different missions with different objectives, and you're trying to search for an item. Now, with different missions, at least you can mix up this grind a little bit. So if it's just repetitive, then that's not a good thing. Is it restrictive? If the game stops you dead in your tracks, unless you get 100 turtle shells throwing rolled up piece of paper at them with a drop rate of 0.1%, then you have a serious problem. If that game ties progression to grind, then that's a game that really grinds my gears. Next, I ask, is the reward worth it? After days of painful grinding and you give me something like a health potion? No, something stupid like that, I don't want it. I'm really just bound to quit that game and never return. If the reward does not match the effort that I put in, then you definitely have a problem with me. Now, these are the type of questions I ask myself when judging grind, and I think what has happened is people are confusing difficult with grind. Something that is difficult to obtain is not grindy. If you play a mission 100 times before you receive the item, then that's not grind, because someone could easily have gained that item in one try. So that's not grind, it's just difficult. And it's not a bad thing that players will never get difficult items in a game. It's also not a bad thing that there is some form of grind, because if they gave you everything in the game within, the first couple of hours, then you'd be complaining about there's no content, this game is quick, useless, easy, and you would go on to something else. So there is a such thing as good grind, just don't confuse it with difficult. These are my thoughts on grind, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more like this, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you again. This has been Cyber.